Hello, hello, JMC Village. Coming at you here with our next installment of Speaking with the Village, talking about creating healthy and supportive environments with me, Josh Kent, today. Um, Taking a little bit of break from our guests. We've had a lot, so I figured I would come at you with a few things I've learned from our village of support, as well as just some things that I'd like to communicate to you as our JMC Village, as our partners and our parents. And so let's jump into the action here of creating healthy and supportive environments. So, first thing I want to cover is the types of health and wellness. So, we'll talk about physical, financial, occupational, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual health. All of these kind of create a big old wheel that's good to consider for both your child that you have in placement, but also for yourself as a parent, as a caregiver. You need to make sure that your wheel is full because you cannot, you can't assist another person in being well without being well yourself. It's really hard. It takes a bigger toll on you if you're not assuring that your own health and wellness is full and feeling like you can set a good example. I think that's one of the biggest things with all these things is showing a kid how to do this can be just as easy as modeling healthy or talking through and kind of spotlighting how you create these types of health and wellness supports for yourself. So let's move on. I'll talk about each. So I'm talking about each type and then just ways to support it with a child in your home. So your emotional health. So just maintaining a healthy life and healthy habits. Make sure you're on top of your stress level. You're eating consistently, being able to cope with stress and express your feelings openly. Having a good emotional health is feeling positive and enthusiastic, and the ability to do all of these things. Knowing our limitations, what we can and cannot handle, both in all of these other realms of health and wellness, but especially our emotional capacity. And just knowing whether not to take a risk. Having poor emotional health can really allude to some risk-taking activity. We see that with our kiddos. Not being able to recognize when there's conflict or over-recognizing conflict. I think those are two really common responses we see with kiddos struggling with their emotional health. So ways to support it, just keeping an open dialogue about how kiddos are feeling. Do not shame or blame them for their feelings. Validate their feelings. Let them know, hey, I might not have experienced the same things you have, but I would be upset too if that was going on. It's definitely okay to be feeling that. Support them in taking responsibility for their actions. That can help them recognize conflict, can help them manage their stress if they're feeling stressed during a moment of potential consequence. Showing them and modeling for them, this is how I cope with stress. This is some things that I really struggled with, but here's how I got through it. I knew what I was limited in and what I was able to do, and that's supporting their emotional health and physical health. So physical health does talk about being physically active, making sure that your body is moving and grooving, but also making sure you're caring for your body in a physical way, whether that's sleep or having healthy eating habits, both in the type you're eating and the consistency you're eating healthy foods, but also eating in a regular pattern. Modeling that, and how to do that can be great. And personal hygiene, just, letting them know that it is about your own personal health, but in ways that they can support themselves. So ways to support that with your child is a lot of, it can be structuring your home, really structuring your home so that there are purposeful times for eating, purposeful times. And it doesn't always have to be together. It's really great to have meals together, for emotional health and social health, but just providing them a time that they can have access to food, they have regular meals, doing activities with them, keeping them physically moving, having a kind of a bedtime, maybe, for an older kiddo, calling it bedtime is not always not always great, but asking them like, hey, once it gets to 10 o'clock, can no more screen time. Let's read rather than have a screen, because studies have shown that the blue light from screens can keep children up. So just making sure that they regularly physically check in with themselves, as well as promote all kinds of health, because it really keeps that energy up and an ability to stay positive through all tough situations if we're caring for our physical health. So then at the bottom there, we'll talk about occupational health. So occupational health just means preparing a child for the future occupationally, finding their vocation, finding the sense of fulfillment in what they do, whether that's financial fulfillment and feeling secure so you can do your hobbies, or something that really fulfills them in their career path. Knowing that they can improve, how to grow within their skills, within helping others or development of themselves or other people. They can support the development of their friends and themselves. So occupational health, the ways to support that, it's harder, I think, with the younger the kiddo is, with just facilitating polite communication. It will down the road allude to better social skills and just better preparedness for the real world and for the needs that you have in your occupational that you have later in your occupational health. Sense of fulfillment can be done too by providing them with opportunities to earn what they really want. Yes, it might be your money in the end that you're spending on a new toy or game, but if you give them the opportunity to earn it, they're going to see the satisfaction and the power in that ability to really earn and have what they worked for. So that that's healthy habits once again, but healthy occupational habits, making sure that they can earn and feel like they're growing, and showing them how to do some things that you might not have before, whether it's cleaning parts of the house, helping you fix the car, or some projects around the house, giving them a little insight into what your work life is like. Another thing, like I said, modeling is a great thing. So, hey, this is something I've had to deal with at my job. So this is something that you need to learn and understand. So occupational health, huge. And spiritual health, it's really, a lot of people see spiritual health as religion, but it's really just about understanding your personal philosophy and what gives you feeling of right and wrong and meaning in your life. This can go through occupational health. It could go through emotional and physical health. It's a lot, or social, but it's just tapping into that, that inner feeling of I'm doing it right. I'm doing the right thing for myself, and a lot of people get that from the morals and their kind of moral compass and their drive from religion and faith. But also giving time to just reflect within themselves, think and meditate, can be a great way if they're not spiritual and do not believe in prayers. Calling it meditate. If they're not religious, then you should say, still providing that fulfillment, because understanding how your beliefs and your morals and values guide your decision making is really can make you feel really confident, and that self-image will improve. So ways to support that, providing time to sit, relax, pray, or be a part of spiritual practices. I think it's really crucial. Create traditions within your house, or follow the traditions that they've had that really can make them feel like each year they're tapping into their inner selves and the people from past, maybe their ancestors, or you as a family, as that connection, that spiritual connection you have. And then another type of health and ways to support. Let's go social. We are social beings. The human race is a social being, and we do really find a lot of growth and put a lot of power in social wellness. So just giving the opportunity for kiddos to be a part of groups that share their interests. Promoting healthy relationships. That's a really great thing. Whether that's putting them in situations that they have to create relationships, whether it's clubs or sports, but also, making family activities between, your own family as well as between other families to show the different dynamics that can work and the ways that you can be social and grow those social skills. Because the more exposure we have to social skills throughout our life, the more ability we have to adapt in different social situations, which is really crucial for all people in different health, and our different modes of health. So knowing which ways to support that social health, there's really no wrong answer. That it's showing how you create this friendship, talking to them about why they're friends with somebody, and recognizing that there is give and take, there is a cohesion and a healthy relationship within their own friends and their own ways to communicate. And then lastly, intellectual health. So this is just your education. Some people see it as their formal education, being in school. For our kiddos, that's a really important resource that we have to support their intellectual health is the schools, but also around allowing them to dive into some creative activities and grow in that sense too, because it can create a lot of health and support. Allowing them to use their hobbies, have mentors, have music. Those are different ways that they can express to you how they're growing and they're feeling confident in themselves. All of this builds good health and good self-image for our kiddos. So we want to give them those opportunities. And those are just the ways to support these different kinds of health. So I have here this question: how can I support those healthy habits in my home? Those healthy habits we talked about. And it's create an environment that ensures success. I know that we're not going to always have success, but creating opportunities to either grow and learn from our mistakes or our trials is successful. Creating learning opportunities is ultimately success, even if it's not a success in the sense of, maybe let's talk about intellectual health. Maybe if we don't achieve all we can in that one test, but learning, hey, what can I do better next time to study, to maintain that growth? How can I bounce back? That is assuring success. Success is not just in the moment, but down the line and in the future. So how can we assure success with our kiddos? Let's look. Setting up for success, ultimately, we don't feel like we can thrive and grow and feel good about ourselves unless we're safe. Safety is the utmost. Whether it's the environment that's safe, whether it's we feel safe ourselves, or if the people around us are feeling safe, making sure that our kiddos don't feel like there's risk involved going out there. This can be emotional safety. This can be actually the physical safety. And just knowing what the potential risk is, and accepting that risk, and moving forward with confidence. And because a lot of our kiddos come from situations where they don't feel healthy, don't feel supported, and they don't feel safe growing in these opportunities because they had to look out for some of their base instincts more so than their inner emotional or intellectual health. So make sure they feel safe participating. Another thing is communication. That's a great way to understand their boundaries and where they don't feel safe, but also talking to them about communicating the expectation, and listening for what they might need out of this experience. So communication and expectations can go hand in hand. But the expectations is really how we structure that pro-social behavior and interaction with the environment. Like, hey, this is, I'm putting you in this club so you can learn more about something you love, get some friends, and I can get some time to myself. Just showing them that you're doing this for not only them, but for you and for the family to grow, because that ultimately turns into health for everyone and growth for everyone. So next way to set up for success is putting in teachable moments. We cannot expect that all of our kids just talking about all these things and setting expectations will ultimately be successful for our kiddos in these environments of learning and growth and health. But it's just talking about, like, just creating these situations, growing social health. You can role play and be, hey, this is what if this happened, and create that teachable moment so that they can walk through a situation before they feel like it's jeopardizing their safety or their own self-image. And you can do that in all forms. So intellectual, providing teachable moments to grow intellectually is really crucial, and spiritually, showing them how you practice your faith or you practice spirituality and what you find as valuable. It could be an activity, or it can just be a communication when it comes down to it. And then lastly, the best, one of the great things parents can do is provide unconditional support for the children. That's going to ensure success, because that's showing that you as a child don't need to give up, because I'm never going to give up on you. Really, they feel like they have dignity. There's, you're providing them with, providing this patience to see through the ups and downs and provide all these other things that I mentioned before, teachable moments, and providing clear communication. That shows your unconditional support, just being genuine with them. And even if they don't feel like they can succeed or be healthy in a certain way, you being there and providing that unconditional support will assure them that they can be. So that was a lot. I know I speak fast sometimes, or I go through things quickly, but feel free, please reach out in the comments below how you provide success in health and in your environment as a foster parent, as a caregiver, as for yourself too. Showing, being cognizant of the success you have as a caregiver or as just a person can really create those teachable moments for others and really provide a lot of value. So feel free, please comment below, reach out to us. Check it, so thanks everyone joining in. I'm happy to communicate just some of the things I've learned and I feel are valuable within caring for children. But if you want to learn more about us, jmckids.com is the best way to reach us, or give me a call. I'll be on the other end of the line if you're curious, or someone else here that's awesome and supportive. And then if you're interested in fostering, please email us at fosters@jmckids.com. And that's a great way to get yourself started on this amazing journey. I love supporting the kiddos that we have, and I'll be a part of your team all along the way. So please reach out to us, get to know us, comment below, let us know what you thought of this, or if there's any ways that you didn't hear that you think should be included. We'd love to hear it. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice